Did you know that some of the most successful people out there, as a matter of fact, most of the successful stories, the successful men and women you see out there, face tremendous amount of failures, setback, disappointment on the way up. And not only did they face this tremendous amount of failure, setback, and disappointment, but ultimately they came to a point where they embrace failure as their daily bread. And this is how precisely they made it to the top and they became unstoppable. All right. In this video, my friend, I'm going to talk about one of the hidden benefits of failure. This is something really key that you don't want to miss. All right. Dimitri, let's get right into it. I know. Some people are quite offended because in my last video, I suggested that yes, you start a YouTube video and I was going to pray for you to fail. They say, but this is un-Christian, this is ungodly, this is very un-Canadian, this is unkind. And I hear you and I can see where you're coming from. Because most of us come from the mindset where we believe that if you have to start a business or someone has to sell you some idea about business, that you have to be successful right away. And that's celebrated. We believe that when you send your child to school, they're supposed to be succeeding and coming back home with a note, or at least that's a bare minimum. And if they come with a B or C or D, then basically all of a sudden the child is seen as incompetent, and the child is punished by way of withdrawing certain things from him or from her, such as words of affirmation, such as privileges in the home, because we want to punish the child because the child is failing to live up to their potential. That's the world we live in. And when we send ourselves to, when we go now looking for jobs or go looking for businesses, we want to go to places that are going to quote unquote guarantee that all of a sudden we're going to have a successful business. And anything that talks about, oh yes, you may also fail, is not considered very seriously. Why? Because we say that's not a proven system. We want a proven system that's going to guarantee 100% that you are going to succeed. But here's the funny thing. You are going to fail in at least one or two of your business ventures. You are going to fail. When you're going to try a new project, you're going to fail. And that's just a way of life, because you cannot just basically go into any project and all of a sudden be greeted, be met with success all the time. It's impossible. That's just how things work. But I know at the same time why most people, most coaches, most businesses who are selling franchises or ideas will stay away from talking about failure rates, because that's very unsexy and that will not help them sell whatever they're selling, either in terms of product or services. That's just a way of life. But let me just park it for now. Again, I'm a very good guy. So when I say I'm going to pray for failure when it comes to your business idea, when it comes to your YouTube channel, it's not because I don't like you. It's precisely because I love you. And let me just tell you why. There is this thing that's called the curse of talents. The people who are born seemingly with amazing dose of, how can I put it, talent, somehow believe they don't need to work as much as the rest of the people on the team. They will just go into the bare minimum and they're going to pass. So eventually, they start taking that as a way of life. They're simply going to study a bare minimum and they're going to pass. They're going to go to work and put the bare minimum and expect to be on the payroll. But what they don't realize is when you just do the bare minimum, and this becomes a way of life for you, you are not really paying attention to the competition. The competition is saying, yes, so-and-so is doing the bare minimum is actually getting A or A+. And I have to work extra hard. So what I'm going to work even harder enough for me to actually reach that particular note. And that becomes now their lifestyle. And when they carry the lifestyle into university or college or even the workplace, what's going to happen is these people that used to be seen quote unquote as dumb children, as dumb students, are going to not only overtake the quote unquote bright student, but also become not just reach the level, but become even more competitive, or to become more valuable to the university, to the colleges, and to the organization where they be working for. And guess what? Before you know it, you see that the child, the student, is to be basically the laughing stock of the class. The laughing stock of the school is now being promoted to CFO, CEO, COO, CEO, chairman of the company, and everybody's completely left dumbfounded as to what exactly has happened. How come the child, the student that used to be basically struggling in school, is now the leader, the captain of the industry? Why? Because of a simple truth: growth mindset. They decided to invest more time into becoming the best version of themselves. Growth mindset as opposed to fixed mindsets. And this is really killer. Anyways, I can't go too much, but let me just, this is one of the reasons why you see that smart people, smart students, end up becoming very broke as far as life is concerned, because they are so used to life give them things without working too much, that by the time they bring this kind of mindset into the marketplace, they find themselves completely, outranked by everybody else, because their bare minimum doesn't really cut it for the company. Their bare minimum is not going to cut it from the marketplace. And before you know it, you see that the A plus students all of a sudden the marketplace become the workers, the assistant or the administrator or the second in command in the companies, working for people that used to be seen as F student in university, colleges, or even in high school. That's just a way of life. And this is one of the reasons why in my ebook, See Yourself Differently, pretty girls, most of the time you're going to see that, yes, they end up lonely and nobody to spend time with them because they believe too much in their own beauty. They spend too much time idolizing themselves that they never took the time to learn how to build the emotional conscience or the ability to connect with people. And before you know it, nobody wants to spend time with them. Anyway, let me just park it for now. In 2006 again, Professor Carol Dweck at the University of Stanford published an amazing paper that came to revolutionize the way that we see ourselves. The paper was simply called something to do with the growth mindset. And she went on to explain that the reason why, as far as science is concerned, the people who exhibit a growth mindset tend to outdo or do better than people who have a fixed mindset, because they're simply putting the work. Michael Jordan, the revered Michael Jordan, was not the best basketball player in his home. He was not. As a matter of fact, his brother was the much better basketball player. Michael Jordan in high school was not even the best. As a matter of fact, he went into the training camp for the summer. He came back, he didn't make it for the team. Why? Because they believe that somebody else was actually better than Michael Jordan. But guess what? Because he developed very quickly the growth mindset, that's why he was able to now go, put in the work, and become now the ultimate player known as Air Jordan. Same thing for Kobe Bryant. Even his early years, rookie years as an NBA player, the man will go and spend time socializing with his teammate. But I want him to say, no, I need to go back to my hotel room. They will ask him what's here, because I have early morning practice at 6 o'clock in the morning. That was basically standard. Even at one point, before I believe the 2008 Olympics, the gentleman managed to called his trainer that was supposed to be help them get in top condition for the Olympics. He called the gentleman at 4 o'clock in the morning. He says, am I disturbing? He says, no. Of course he was. He says, I would like you to come down to the training facility because I'd like you to look after my conditioning. The gentleman rushed to the training facility only to find out that Kobe Bryant was already all in sweat because he had been working out for quite a long time. They worked with him. He worked with him for a few hours and went back to the hotel room to sleep. And he went back at 11 o'clock when it was practice time for the rest of the group. And guess what? Kobe Bryant was still there practicing. The man went to Kobe Bryant and said, but when did you go home to rest? He said, but I never left. I've been working all this time. That's the kind of growth mindset that elevated the gentleman to be known now today as the black mamba. So again, black mamba was only born out of a place called growth mindset. And let me just end with a particular story. I'm gonna go. When Sarah Blakely, the founder of Spanx, decided to pursue this as a business idea, people kept rejecting and saying, this is not going to, this is not going to, this is not going to work. But do you want to know why she kept coming back as far as this business idea was concerned? Simply because she was trained well. As a matter of fact, here's what I think that's really interesting. Her father was an attorney. So her father had later set the standard as far as ambition is concerned. So at one point, when Sarah Blakely simply said, yes, I'm going to go on to become an attorney like my dad. So I'm going to go take the LSAT. She took the LSAT the first time. She failed. She went back home and she studied again, and she took the LSAT again. She even fell more miserably. So she said to herself, my goodness, maybe this is not for me. She started taking some odd jobs, and eventually she stumbled upon this idea of the Spanx as a business idea. But when she went to her father, the father could have simply told her, yeah, by my goodness, you know, you felt outside, you're doing some crazy jobs now this business idea. What kind of nonsense is this? The father simply saw the potential because the father raised her to embrace failure as a breakfast. And when she went to the father simply said, yes, you have my blessing. Please go after this idea. And guess what? That's how she became a multi-billionaire. Why? Because she simply exhibited this something key, this benefit of failure, which is simply the demonstration of this thing called growth mindset. She never stopped because people kept telling her no. She never stopped because people kept saying, but you have no college degree, you have no education. Who are you to tell us what's going to work as far as the business is concerned? She kept going because she understood that through failure, she learned one key thing, that no does not mean that yes, I'm going to stop it. No is an invitation for me to find better, bigger ways of simply reaching my goal. All right, again, embrace failure as your daily reality. And my friend, you're gonna thank me, because if you keep doing that every single day, it's gonna teach you how to find better and bigger ways around obstacle that you have in front of you to manifest the ultimate version of who you are meant to be. All right, much love, everyone. Before I go, of course, as a reminder, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, invite your friends, your family to also do the same thing. But most importantly, go to the link here I put below this video and go grab your own copy of this book called See Yourself Differently. And this is going to help you see yourself differently, but take you from just being a man or woman in the flow to now becoming a clutch player. Do you know what a clutch player is? A clutch player is simply someone who make things happen. A person in the flow simply say, yes, I'm letting things be. No, you're not at a place where you're going to be letting things be. You have to grow to a place where you're going to say, one way or the other, I'm going to have to find a way to make things happen. And when you do that, my friend, you're going to become a clutch player. And a clutch player is simply someone who embraces failure, embraces obstacle, embraces no as an invitation to do better. All right, much love. I'm out.